Hello everyone. So today we are going to see request dispatcher in Servlet. So this request dispatcher is used for web components communication. So in this request dispatcher, the request dispatcher interface defines an object that receives the request from the client and dispatches it to the resources, such as the resources can be servlet, JSP or HTML. And this interface has the following two methods. First one is forward and second one is include. So in this video we will see the include method of this request dispatcher. So for what purpose we use the request this include method? It includes the content of the resource such as servlet, JSP or HTML. So let's take here example. If we have this web page and here we have the header.html and let's take this is footer.html. This is header.html and here we will take as footer.jsp and this is our servlet. And if we want to include this HTML file in this our servlet and also add the footer, we want to include this footer.jsp, then we can use this include method of request dispatcher. So we will see the example how can we include this. So for that we need to create the request dispatcher object for the details of the destination component. So request dispatcher, how can we create request dispatcher rd equal to request dot get request dispatcher. Here you can give the URL. If we want to add in this servlet another servlet, then we can give URL. If we want to add the HTML file, then we can give here also HTML file name. And if you want to add this footer, this JSP, also we can give here the JSP file name. So let us see by example how can we use this include. So here I am using eclipse ID and here right click on this and go to new. Here we will create a dynamic web project and here we will take the name as request dispatcher, then click on next. Here click here generate web.xml, then click on finish. It will take some time. So here our web project is created. Here you can see this is our request dispatcher. And make sure that your Tomcat is configured with the Eclipse, and also we need to add the servlet API. So I have already downloaded the servlet API. Let me add that. Go to the build path and here we can see configured build path and click on these libraries. In the libraries class path and go to the add external jars and in the here in jar files I have already downloaded this servlet API. You can also download from internet or mavenrepository.com. You can go there and you can download this servlet API. Then after adding this, click on apply and close. So in the reference libraries you can see servlet API is added and I have already configured the Tomcat with this Eclipse IDE. You can also do that. So first of all we will create here a servlet. So go to new. So in the src main Java, go to new and here you can see servlet is there. Here Java package will take as com.servlet and class name you will take here as test and click on next and URL pattern is here you can see test and click on finish. So here we can see our servlet is created. So let me delete the this you can delete. Also this we can delete. Yeah, now these are our do get and do post. Here you can see do get and do post methods, which is having the request and response, and this is do post. So first of all, what we'll do here, get the print writer. So print writer equals to pw equal to response dot get writer. So for importing this, press Ctrl Shift O. Print writer is imported. Now set the content type. So for that, response dot set content type as text slash HTML. Then what we have seen, let me take content. So what we are doing here, this is our servlet. We have created test, and we will create here a header and footer. So now what we have to do, header dot HTML, and here we have to do footer dot JSP. We'll create this header and footer, and we will see how can we include this header and footer in our servlet. So go to the Eclipse, and in our project, in this request dispatcher, you can see here src in main in web app. So right click on this web app and go to new, and here we will create first one is HTML file, and we will give here name as header dot HTML. So let us write here heading. We will write only heading s2. This is header, and if we give here a style color :red and text align as center. So this is done. Now next we will create footer.jsp. So for that, right click on web app and go to new and go to JSP files, and here we will create footer.jsp. You can also create a HTML. So for different, also we will see in this example how can we work with the JSP and HTML. So finish. Also here we'll write the same as this. Let's copy this and go to footer, and here we'll write paste here. We'll take clear color as blue, and at this place we'll write footer. Now in our servlet, how can we add this? So what we'll do, first we'll add the header, and we will write some logic, or we will print some body. Then we'll add this footer.jsp in this servlet. So for this adding, we need to use the what, this method of request dispatcher, this include. So go to the Eclipse. So first, for using this include, we need to take the request dispatcher object. So create the request dispatcher object by using request. So how can we create that? So here we'll write request dispatcher rd equals to request dot get request dispatcher. Here you can see, and here we need to add the destination component name or URL. In that case, we are adding this header.html, so we can give the header.html file name. So here we need to add the header.html. So for that, header.html. And for importing this, press Ctrl Shift O. So this is important. Now how to include this header.html in our current servlet? So for that, what we have to do, rd.include request comma response. So now this header.html, whatever content is there, that is added into this our servlet. Now here we'll write some, print some body. So write body in header.html. Let me take some margin as here, margin top as 50 pixel, and in text here we will write some body as pw.println. In the h2 we will write this is body, and here we will write some style style, color colon cyan, and text align as center, and we will take some margin as margin top 50 pixel. Also the margin bottom we will also take. So copy and paste margin bottom as 50 pixel. So this is the body, and we have written the body. Now add the footer. So you can use here already created this request dispatcher object. So for adding the, here you can see rd equals to request dot get request dispatcher. Now here we are adding this footer.jsp, so we need to take here footer.jsp and rd.include request comma response. So the header is added, and here we have write some body, and footer is also added. So let me go to footer. Here we will take the margin top as 50 pixel, copy this, go to footer, and here we go. So this is done. Now let me close the stream, close the stream. So pw.close. Now all the things are done. We have write the first header.html, then footer.jsp, and we are adding this header and footer in our this servlet called test. And for adding, we are using the include method of this request dispatcher, and request dispatcher we can create object by using this request.get request dispatcher, and whatever component we have to add, that we have to give here HTML or JSP. So now let us run this. So right click on this request dispatcher and go to run as, run on server, and here I am using Tomcat version 9. Click on next and click on finish. So this is starting. So here we can see our project name is coming here, request dispatcher. Now let us see what is, we have given the URL of our servlet. What is the URL of our servlet? That is test. This is our URL. Let me copy this and go to the browser, and after this I will write here a test and enter, and here we go. We can see here this is header, and this is body, and this is footer. So this is coming here, you can see that header, body and footer. Here we can we are giving only the request to this servlet, but we are getting the header, body and footer. So for this purpose we use this request dispatcher, and we are using this include. So what we have seen, it includes the content of the resource such as servlet, JSP, HTML in the response. So we have seen about HTML and JSP, how can we add in the servlet. Also we can add the our servlet. So let us see how can we add servlet component. So in this request dispatcher we will also create next again one servlet, and go to new, go to servlet, and here we will create one body servlet and click on next. The URL as body, finish, and here we have created one servlet. Let me delete this, also we can delete this, also delete, and here we will delete this. So now here we will write the same, and this whatever print writer and content type, and write the body, copy this and go here and paste here, Control Shift F for formatting this, and at this place we will write this is the body from what, from the body servlet, and we will take here the color as red. So if you want to add this body servlet in our test servlet, how can we do that? And in this, now we are in the test servlet. Now we are in the test servlet, and here we will write this is body from the test servlet. Now we work with the HTML, how to add the HTML, how to add the JSP. Now let us see how we can add this body servlet. So for that, after our this body of test servlet, we'll add. So add the body servlet content, body servlet. So for that we need to take request rd equal to request dot get request dispatcher. Now here we need to give the URL pattern. So what is the URL pattern of this our body servlet? Body is URL pattern. So let us copy this and go to here and paste here as a body. Now for including, for rd dot include request comma response. So what will happen? The whatever content of body will be also added into our test servlet. So let me save this. This is saved. Now go to the browser and refresh this. Click on refresh, and here we can see the body servlet content is also added. So this is a body from the body servlet, and this is body from the test servlet. This is header, this is footer. So first we have added the HTML file, then servlet, and here JSP. So this is the way we can use include method, and we can also use the data from this servlet to another servlet. So let us see what we will do. We'll set the attribute. So request.set attribute, and here we'll take the name as number, and its value will take as 100. So what if we want to use this number data, whatever this number data in this body servlet or footer.jsp. So request.set attribute means the number value is now 100, and we can use this value in this whatever we are including the JSP or servlet content. So let us see how can we access this data. So now we are in the body servlet, and we will try to use this data whatever we have said, the attribute set attribute num equal to 100. Now let us see how can we use that. So for that, go to the body servlet, and here we'll write integer number equals to request dot get attribute, and what is the name we have given here? Number, num. We can give here a num, and here we go, and we have to typecast this, add the cast to integer, and yes, now we are able to access this data from the state servlet in the body, because we are using a request dispatcher and we are including this. So whatever request and response for this test, and this same request and response are using in this body. So because of this, we are able to access the data of this test whatever we have set in the body servlet. So now let us print this number. This is a body from the body servlet, and here we'll print in the next line. We'll print here pw.println s2 value of num. What is our variable num? Name we have taken number. So let me copy this and paste here, close this and close this s2. So this is done. Now go to the browser and let's refresh this, and here we go, value number is 100. So from this one servlet, we can, whatever data we have set, we can access in another servlet. So this is a servlet communication. We are able to do communication from one servlet to another servlet, and we can also access this value in the JSP. Let us go and see. So we are forwarding request and response to footer.jsp. So let's go to the footer.jsp, and here what we'll do, below this footer we'll use the scriptlet tag, and here what we'll do, integer, let me copy whatever we have done in body.java. This is what we have done. So let me copy this and go to the footer.jsp and paste here. And for printing in JSP, we use out.println semicolon value of number is, what is the value as number. So we are forwarding the request comma response to the footer.jsp or including, so we can use this data in also footer.jsp, and we are printing. So let us go to the browser and let us see and refresh this, and here we can see value number as 100 from the footer. If we go here, I will also use from footer, and in the body we'll use from the body servlet. Save this, go to here, refresh this, refresh. Here we can see from the body value num as 100, and from the footer we can also able to do that. So this is all about the include request dispatcher in servlet. In the next video we will see how can we use this forward and how it is working.